Good evening, lovely tubers. White Mexican back again for another Market Watch investments video for you guys tonight. Have a plethora of things going to be showcasing for you guys. These are going to be my personal selections, and I do hope that you enjoy. Getting things kickstarted tonight. I kind of might go off a little bit on a tangent here. I want to kind of just do a quick flash review of like the first of the first. So starting here with Dual Terminal 1. Now I know that Dual Terminal Preview was like the predecessor set to this. It was the one that kind of started it all. Personal White Mexican theory, I don't really believe that the majority of the preview content is attainable anymore. It's just already well within the collector's market and just not in very high abundance, and it's just very, very expensive. So I opted to showcase Dual Terminal 1, as even though it is not as old as Preview, it is still very much the very first dual terminal per se. And there's just a complete, just unparalleled, amazing value. One thing I did note, which I know probably a lot of people are talking about, but I have personal interest in this card because I actually bought several of these DT Super Blue Eyes actually when I was in Korea several years ago, and I got them off eBay, I believe, the eBay platform. I think I got like 18 or 9 of them on near mint, and I want to say I think I played like 11 or 12 bones a piece for these, and these have definitely had a significant increase in price. We can see here starting market price for lightly played is about 100 bones, and then the first near mint goes to 109 bones, and there's only 2 pages of availability. So pretty incredible price points. I mean, obviously this is Blue Eye stuff. It's going to have some amazing collector's value and just nostalgia value as well, with like Kaiba and a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So anyway, so again, I'm not really going to go too in detail. I'm sure that this set has been well ran through quite some times now, but there's just some really great cards in here. So I really just kind of wanted to just show you guys again. I mean, everyone kind of looks at different stuff, but this is just a really great set. And again, there is but I think there's a little lesser known here. Like, I think a lot of people don't really pay attention to the common DT version of MST. MST is still a very, very competitive card. It's the classic 1-for-1. It's got the utility of being a quick play magic card. A lot of amazing prints in this, and I just really think that this is a really undervalued print, and it's an amazing rarity. Starting market price for like lightly played is roughly around 3 bones before you factor in shipping. Not really a bunch of stacks. There's a single stack here for 6, and it starts at near mint for 5 bones, but only 2 pages of availability. So I still think MST DT is very much attainable. Personally, I like the first edition Secrets as well, out of I think it's Legendary Collections 3 or 4. I can't remember. I actually just picked one up yesterday. Also, there's so much I could say about this. I mean, obviously it goes without saying, Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, Dark Magician. I mean, yes, they're all gonna have incredible value just for all those reasons I mentioned before. But again, this just being DT, and if you guys have been watching my channel, I'm a huge advocate of DT. DT has been well-blooded in the collector's market for some time now, and it's still to this day, like, this is insane. Is this card really still $2? Okay, so this card is still 2 bones, and there is a fat stack of 5 right here, near mint for 2 bones, from Core TCG. Not surprising. This is a really amazing seller, and there's quite some good availability here. I mean, there's a 5 stack, there's a 4 stack for 2 bones. This is insane. This is insanely affordable. This is one of the most generic, infamous level 5 synchro cards of all time. This has amazing history merit behind it. It was a very, very popular card in the day, and it is a rare, and above all else is extremely affordable. And dual terminal, not only dual terminal, but dual terminal 1, which is really incredible. So I mean, I've said this before, and I'm very, very surprised that there's still 9 of these available for that price point of 2 bones. That is insanely affordable, and I highly, highly recommend that you guys invest in that card. Personally, Another really great one that no one really talks about is Noblemen of Extermination. Now, I know this is kind of watered down. It's an older card, and it's somewhat situational. Artwork is really great, though. Again, obviously, Dual Terminal 1, amazing rarity, amazing set. And this card is very, very affordable. I mean, for the most part, well, actually, it's pretty much gone. It's pretty much gone. So disregard on that. I mean, there's like 1 for a bone before you factor in shipping, and then it goes straight up to 4 bones, and then continues to trickle up into some pretty ridiculous numbers here, and bottoms out at 7 for a fat stack of 24. So, players have picked up on this, so disregard. This is kind of gone now. Personally, I invested relatively heavy in that set. Another card that I think that people don't really realize or talk about is Dark Magic Attack. Again, the whole Yami Yugi fanboy fodder and anime nostalgia and like Gen 1 stuff is really, really great. It's gone up a little bit. It looks like it's about 2 bones now for the starting market price for near mint. And there's only 1 page of this. So, I mean, as the years have gone on, Dual Terminal has dwindled dramatically on the market, and the availability has just been more and more stringent to obtain. But this has really great artwork too. I really like this artwork a lot. So another lesser known, I think, maybe if you guys can pick up for trades. Obviously, TCGP, the platform, is kind of running out here. Black Horn of Heaven. Now, there's also Secret Rares and Ultimate Rares First Editions, which are really, really great, too. This is also, a healthy alternative as DT. Really nice. For nostalgia value, obviously not for playability, but for nostalgia value, I think Reinforcements is really great for just artwork, and, I mean, even this, too, as well. I mean, this is pretty much... I mean, maybe I'm just like late to the game here. Again, like I've always known that Dual Terminal has been like rapidly dwindling, and it's been discontinued for years, and naturally it's just become a hot commodity amongst the collectors market. And this bottoms out at 20 bones, and there's not that many for just a couple bones here, and then bottoms out at straight up 20. Really great artwork. Back in the day, I mean, like Gen 1 players, would rock this card, and it was actually like really competitive back in the day, and really, really cool artwork. I actually really feel really silly for not actually investing this. I don't know if I did or did not. About half of my inventory stock is actually in Texas right now, and I moved to New York in December for school, so I'd have to go back. But I have like binders, a few different binders, like binders of strictly just trap cards, DT traps, DT magic, DT monsters, really great stuff. Another one is Share the Pain. So this card again just has that really nostalgic, amazing old school artwork, and again, it's not like a super competitive card. I mean, maybe it'll swap in every once in a while. I mean, time will tell for cards to swap in and out of the metagame, but this card's pretty much a bone across the board, and Big City Cards has a 35 stack right here for near mint, so 2 pages of availability as well, so I would definitely consider this as well. Alternatively, the original, I want to say Metal Raiders was the original print of this as a common. So for those first edition with the very nostalgic magic stamps in the corner, those are also really great alternatives, but you do not neglect the DT. Personally, I would prefer the DT because, it has like the DT foiling, but definitely would not neglect the original Metal Raider first edition magic stamp ones as well. So there is just an abundance. I mean, you guys can just go through here. Negate Attack is also a really good one. Maybe even Soul Exchange. Let's see here. And a lot of like the alien stuff. I have a couple different sets of. I invested very heavily in Apocalypse. Apocalypse is a generic swoop 1-for-1, which is pretty cool. So I mean, it's completely up to you guys. I mean, I just wanted to kind of push out some education and some information, just make you guys aware, kind of expand upon my thoughts, and maybe it'll spark some ideas in your head. But that's all I'm going to say about DT1. Really, really great stuff. I highly recommend that you guys invest some time kind of poking around and making some decisions for yourself. Next is going to be Ots Tournament Pack One. So it goes without saying, the Ultimate Rares, Dark Law, Vanities, Bountiful, really, really great cards, high rarities, relatively fat price points, obviously, especially for this very infamous hero card here. But no one really talks about, the other stuff. I mean, maybe super rare Droll and Lockbird, because this is always rotating throughout the metagame, and this is personally my favorite. I've been trying to pick these up. My price point is roughly around 10.8 for these, but there's not that many listings here, and it's very competitive to get those very affordable price points. Now, granted, there is ultra rares, there is an ultimate rare, which looks really, really nice, but it just holds too much of a fat price point, and I'd much rather. I have a strange obsession with hand traps and super rare as well, though. So I don't like to play with high rarity. I love high rarity stuff. I collect high rarity. I buy high rarity. I sell high rarity. I trade for high rarity. All that stuff. But I don't particularly play with like decked out full-on max rarity, because I personally believe it devalues your cards. And I mean, you work so hard to build up these max rarity decks, and I totally respect and understand that there's players that just like to kind of have these big flashy decks, and like that's that's great. That's the personal player preference. But personally, like I don't think that's very a very sound investment. I'd much rather have my big high rarity decks like in a binder or in like top loaders, or so that's just player preference. Everyone's completely different. So another really great one is the super rare version of Iron Imperial Wall. This is a great floodgate that a lot of people forget about. A lot of great versions. This is definitely one of the better versions. I don't remember OTS 1 out of a super rare. I don't know. I don't think it has. I'm trying to remember what the other ones were. Okay, Legendary Collection 4 down an ultra rare, and then the rest were common. So yeah, even though I am just an advent fan of Legendary Collection 3 and 4, just amazing cards, amazing rarity, amazing set, I would definitely prefer to have the super rare, even though it's lower rarity. This is. I want to say, I'm pretty sure, yeah, OTS 1 is relatively significantly more an older set and more harder to get than the Ultras. I would not disregard the first edition Ultras. Again, like pretty much anything that's first edition from these sets for the hollow foils are really, really great, and are definitely going to be well on the way into the collector's market for the bearing of the name set that they come from. But I would definitely consider, I would prioritize the super rares personally myself, and these are the ones that I actually have several copies of personally. About 2-3 bones starting market price, and there's only 2 pages. So pretty interesting stuff on the wall. And again, you guys kind of just have to go in and make your own choices. Obviously, this was significantly smaller compared to Dual Terminal 1, so there's really not going to be a whole lot to kind of play with. But all around, relatively great stuff. And the biggest thing, again, why I wanted to showcase these in particularly is because they're the first ofs. Dual Terminal 1, OTS Tournament Pack 1, and then next is going to be Astral Pack 1. So it goes without saying, obviously, Tsukuyomi, really, really great, Gen 1, nostalgic, amazing card, high rarity, ultimate rare, Photon Thrasher, Debris Dragon, all really, really great stuff. Some of the probably lesser known, but still very relatively popular, is obviously the highest rarity. I believe this is still the highest rarity of Moray of Greed. This is an amazing draw card, recycle card for water-based decks. Of course, we got super rare Mass Chain, Terraforming super rare. I think this is really great too. I mean, obviously we have secrets and ultimate rares, and the ultimate rare actually looks very, very, very nice. Again, just holds a pretty costly price tag, but I would not disregard these super rares. These are really nice. Out of this whole entire set, though, Kegamusha is pretty cool too. This is the highest rarity Kegamusha, and I'm a really big fan of Six Samurais, so that's another thing too. We're getting the new structure deck for Insectors, and I know Hornet and Dragonfly are still soul prints as rares and super rares on Order of Chaos, which are really great. I personally invested very heavily in those. This card is still very, very cheap, and it is the highest rarity of Centipede. And at least let's not forget that this is still part of the tri-package that you need with Dragonfly and Hornet. Here they are right here. So this is still a needed thing, and this is the highest rarity. And remember that it is a super rare hollow foil out of an Astral Pack, and not only Astral Pack 1, which is the very first Astral Pack, which is really great history merit. And this card's still roughly around a bone before you factor in shipping. I mean, there's not really much of any stacks here, so I'm just going to switch over to stacks. And then it's the stacks, unfortunately, is when it starts to increase significantly to roughly around 4 bones. So for the longest time, this card was like well under a bone and had really fat stacks, and I've have like 1 to 3 deck boxes full of sleeved super centipedes, because these are, I really think that this is a really good investment for anticipation of the new structure deck. Next is going to be super rare Gates of the Underworld. Now, granted, this does have an ultra rare print. Again, I think it was Legendary Collection for Joey's World that donned an ultra rare print, if I'm not mistaken. Those first editions exclusively would be, definitely a sound investment as well. This being, again, Astral Pack One super rare holofoils. Really, really great stuff. I love Dark World. White Mexican is a huge. You can see all the cards being showcased here. I love Dark World. Ever since structure deck Gates of the Underworld came out, Dark World has been one of my all-time favorite nostalgic decks. I really like it a lot. And this card's roughly around a little bit over a bone, and then goes to about 2 bones. Only 3 pages of availability. I'm going to switch over here to the stacks. Starting stacks is about 2 bones, and you got to factor in this like sneaky 1.5 shipping here. So it's definitely increased a little bit and dwindled in numbers. And this very heavily, obviously, naturally being a big fan of the deck, and this card was just very affordable for the longest time. I've invested very heavily in that as well. Heretic Dragon of Tefnuit is pretty great too. Now, dual power down the ultra rares, which it kind of is what it is, but still, like, I kind of have like this little like silly silly vendetta against ultra rares. Like, I think ultra rares are really disgusting. There's a very minute selection of ultra rares that I like, so that's kind of like an on-running joke for me. But anyway, really great stuff. Next is going to be Turbo Pack Booster 1. Very old set, really great cards. I guess back in the day, they only did one ultimate rare, which is the infamous JD. Now, personally, they're both very expensive. They're both very old. They're both very expensive. They're very, very aesthetically pleasing. Both the Light Destruction Secret Rares first editions exclusively, and of course the ultimate rares from this set right here, Turbo Pack 1. Personally, I like the first edition Secret Rares better. Just personal preference. I mean, these ultimate rares look very, very nice, but when you're going to compare price points, I would definitely prefer the original first edition secrets. That's just me personally. Obviously, the holofoils, people are going to really kind of know about these, and Rescue Cat, and what else is in here? Well, that's pretty much it. By the way, there is a dual terminal rare version of Grandmaster. Again, I'm a really big Six Samurai fan, and let's check it out really quick, because there really wasn't much in this set, so I'm going to allocate a little bit more time to some kind of side cards here. Like always, the original Strike and Neo secrets, even for unlimited, they're always like ungodly expensive. I think that they just were like hard to pull or something. Let's see here. There's the Gen 1 2008 Gold Series. This was actually like really, really nice. 2009, 2008 were the first 2 sets of Gold Series that looked, they did gold right. It was really, really nice. And here it is right here. So Dual Terminal 6. This is definitely the ideal version. This card is insanely cheap. This card is a rare Dual Terminal, and pretty much a standard one of, at least, for the most part, at least in my builds for Six Samurais. I really, really like this card. I mean, amazing artwork, amazing effect, stats, everything. Really, really great stuff. And it's pretty much a bone all across the board. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to stacks. It goes to a little bit over a bone after that, and there's a fat stack of 24 here for about a bone and a half. So still relatively affordable considering the circumstances, and this is just a really great card and a really great rarity. And again, Six Samurais have a really relatively infamous history in the old state metagames and all that. So not really quite as exciting in this set, but let's move on to the next set. So Champion Pack 1, obviously Metamorphosis for all the GOAT players, Fanboy Fodder, Book of Moon, Sakuretsu, Night Assailant, and these are all classic GOAT era cards, which holding substantial value. For that, we're pretty much just alone. I mean, obviously there's other reasons as well, but that's going to be kind of like the leading factor. And let's see here. That's pretty much it. So again, that was a very short set. Really like this card. This is like Gen 1 era anti-meta, Tiger King Wangu. Really great stuff. Personally, I like the original rares. I think it was Pharaonic Guardian that donned the OG prints as first edition rares. So pretty great stuff. So yeah, this is pretty much, a GOAT player's paradise is pretty much what's going to hold value in that set. Next is going to be Tournament Pack 1, which if I'm not mistaken, I believe was the very first like local tournament store issued pack card. So very, very old, really great. Obviously, people know the holo foils here, top 3, and there's a couple rares here. And overall, there really isn't anything of huge interest that really offsparks. Obviously, like the top cards here are really expensive because they're very, very old, very hard to get, extremely hard to find in good condition. And this was like the first of Tournament Pack One, really great stuff. And even the commons you can see here, even some of the commons are holding some pretty good price points. But yeah, there really wasn't much of anything that really impressed me in this set. As far as tournament pack goes, Royal Decree is like my all-time favorite card from the tournament packs, and I really like Royal Decree in general. I pretty much exclusively sub a playset of Royal Decree in the majority of the deck builds that I pilot. So next is going to be Mark of the Rose, specifically the ultimate rare versions dawning out of Crossroads of Chaos. This was a really, really amazing set. This was a set that gave us Black Rose Dragon, really great history merit on that. And I just think this is a relatively good card, and it has really great artwork. You can't really see it. This picture definitely doesn't give it justice, but up close and personal, you can really see the ultimate foiling very well, and the artwork looks really great. And I just think this is a relatively good card for what it is for plant players. And it is from a really nice set, and then the set's very old. Unlimited lightly plays are going to start market price about 3 bones. Near mint goes to about 4+. But you're not really going to concern yourself with that because you guys are going to do it right and go first edition. And we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a deeper dive here. First editions go all the way up to 15 bones, which sounds pretty steep, but keep in mind this is a very old set, a relatively good card in my personal opinion, and it is a high rarity of ultimate rare. So pretty great stuff on that. If you want near mint first edition, we're going to keep on trickling down the line here. First near mint first edition is about 22. 6 pages of availability on that, so really good stuff on the mark. Next is going to be Titanial. This is the ultimate rare version out of, again, Saga, Crossroads of Chaos. Really great set, really great artwork, really good effect too, and it's 28 beater, and I believe it is also a level 8 as well. So level 8, great. I'm a big fanboy of XYZ rank 8 monsters, so great stuff on that. And starting market price for this is 5 bones for lightly played unlimited. If you want near mint unlimited, it goes up to about 11 bones. Only 2 pages of availability, and if you want first edition lightly played, oh man, lightly played again. So there's that huge differentiation in price value between not only first edition lightly played or unlimited and first edition, but now also first edition lightly played to first edition near mint. So lightly played first edition is 43. If you want near mint first edition, it goes all the way up to 100 bones. So really, really incredible, great nostalgia history behind this card as well. Alright, so next is going to be a new card, Rose Girl, a super rare solo print dawning out of Eternity Code. So I don't pay much attention to a lot of like the new big popular decks personally. I appreciate them. I try to learn, when I have extra time, I try to study them, so I don't get wrapped up in duels when I'm playing and with my friends or online or whatever it may be. I try to keep myself informed. But this card has really great artwork. First of all, it kind of looks like a silly like magical elf here, but it's a 2-prong effect. You can have 2 effects. Unfortunately, it does have this limitation where you can only use one of the effects once per turn, which is a very limiting factor for this card. But both of the effects are really, really good. And I mean, obviously, Eternity Code is relatively new, so it makes sense that this is still a super rare. I can definitely see this eventually getting some kind of reprint. More than likely, probably a common or like a very disgusting ultra rare or something like that. But it's a level 3 Earth plant tuner, so I mean, it's got all the standard stats there. I just really like the artwork a lot, and again, I really have a thing for super rares. I really appreciate super rares, like the first level of holo foils. And obviously this card's insanely cheap, so we're gonna go ahead and switch over to 3 stacks, and you can get stacks for under a bone. And there's a 17 here, 38 well under a bone, near mint first editions all across the board, 5+ pages. So I just think this is something to consider. Next is going to be Secret Village of the Spellcasters, specifically the original super rare prints, again, dawning on a Saga, Crossroads of Chaos. There's several different super rare prints. I think there's like 4 or 3 different super rare prints of this card, which is, it kind of is what it is. But this is the original the original prints, and again, a Crossroads of Chaos, infamous Black Rose set, and these are going for pretty good money. Near mint unlimiteds are roughly around 2 bones, and there's 4 pages of availability. It's when you hit the first editions, like always, following trending history trendings. The first editions are where it gets kind of interesting. So first edition I played goes for about 13 bones. If you want near mint first edition, it goes for about 18 bones. And there's actually a 3-stack here, which is pretty cool. So really incredible stuff on Secret. Next is going to be Puppet Master. So I want to talk about personally the original super rares. Again, out of CSOC, and then Dual Terminal 5 commons. So let's start with the Dual Terminal 5 commons. This is relatively affordable. I mean, this is affordable. It's, well under a bone here. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to stacks to give you guys a perspective for buying in bulk. Again, White Mexican theory, or me, just personal player preference. I hardly little to never buy just like onesie twosies of cards unless it's like a really nice old good deal on like a collector or something, first edition that's like collectors, like Gen 1 era or something. But the majority of the times that I'm going to drop money and I'm going to invest, I'm going to go for bulk, and I'm going to try to disperse and do a whole bunch of crazy shenanigans here. So I do really recommend, when it's available, you guys buy in bulk, because it's kind of just like life ethics. I mean, you go to like Sam's Club and Costco because you buy in bulk and you get more, and it's relatively more affordable to a certain extent. So really great stuff. About under about half bone plus, and there's 16 here near mints, and then 29 stack here for again under a bone. And this is again the dual terminal. Again, dual terminal is really great, fan favorite rarity, and for what it is, I think this is a pretty strong effect. Let's go ahead and look at the original super rares out of Crossroads of Chaos, specifically for the first edition. So obviously this card is very affordable for the original super rare print as well. So I've already switched over to 3 stacks. That's good. And there is unfortunately a lot of availability, but no first editions here. Oh, actually, there is a. Okay, so here's a near mint first edition start at a bone, and there is a stack of 10 from Big City Cards. So this is definitely got it going on. This is pretty good. And then there's a couple other pages for you guys to go through, but this is kind of silly artwork, honestly. It looks like a cracked out like Carney clown or something. But anyway, moving on here. Next is going to be Paralyzing Chains. So this is a solo print rare, again out of CSOC. Really cool artwork. And the only reason why I want to showcase this card, because every once in a while you'll run into those players that like to play out the deck out deck, where they just kind of deck you out, and they can kind of doppel this with a burn. Really simple, not really complex, nothing too crazy, but it's just an old school rare solo print, and it's got really cool artwork. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can really say about this card. And obviously it's relatively insane, definitely a lesser known card. I'm gonna switch over to 3 stacks. And there's a 25 stack here from Game Time for first edition near mints for under a quarter. So really incredible stuff on that. Next is going to be Upstart Goblin. So I apologize if you guys, this is like the 1 billionth time that I have showcased this card, but I really, really do feel very compassionately about this investment. I really do. I talk about this card a lot because it's important. I really do believe, I mean, the White Mexican might just be some crazy old fool, but I really do find this card very, very interesting, and it's insanely affordable, and it has been for so long. And it is still limited to 1, and who knows when Konami is going to lift it off the list to 3 or even 2. But this is just, it doesn't matter what deck I'm playing. If I'm playing Shaddolls, if I'm playing Zombies, if I'm playing Anti-Meta, like I always run max amounts of available Upstart Goblins. This is just a classic, dwindle your deck down, and it's got really great artwork, and we have some really killer rarities. So of course, we have the Turbo Pack Booster 8 original holofoil super rares. This was like the best of the best back in the day. This is going for just way too much of inflated prices. I mean, this is old and it's hard to get, and I get it as collectors. But the best one is the Secret Slayer super rare, and I'm going to tell you why. Because it's insanely more affordable than the Turbo Pack one. It has the updated rarity, where actually like the magic attribute in the top right here is actually foiled out, which is really, really nice. And the best thing is, it's readily available in bulk and it's very, very affordable as opposed to the original supers. Also, I would not disregard the Legendary Collection 3 Yugi's World, my all-time favorite subset collection set. Really great stuff. For the first editions exclusively. Those actually, I don't normally, again, I totally vomit myself when I see ultra rares, but you pass through first edition ultra rares, specifically from Legendary Collections 3, 4, and Legendary Collection Kaiba, and I'm all over it. I love the stuff. So that's some cardboard crack right there. But and then of course you have the original Magic Ruler first editions, which are really nice because they're the OG prints and they have the actual Magic stamp. So definitely take into account those as well. But this card is it's 2 bones, and it's been roughly 2 bones ever since pretty much Secret Slayers dropped. I know that everyone went kind of bananas for the Outlich stuff from this, and I think it was Antimanta Passipators or something like that, or anyway. But this is a really great card. So near mint first edition starting market price, it has hardly gone up. I mean, it went from 1.5, 2 to now about almost a phantom under 3 bones here. Near mint first editions, 87 stack, really incredible. And 5+ pages of availability even for these stacks here. So again, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I really recommend that you guys get at very minimum, a playset, so you guys can have a nice super rare first edition playset to rock in your deck when this card comes to 3. Alright, next is going to be the original print of Chaos Hunter, a secret rare dawning on a storm of Ragnarok. This is a really good card, and it's holding some pretty interesting price points here. Unlimited lightly played is about 12 bones. Near mint is a phantom under 13. No first editions on the first page. There's 5 pages of availability. If you want a lightly played first edition, it's going to go to 16 bones. If you want a near mint first edition, starting market price is going to be about 20 bones. Again, 5 pages of availability, and this card just high rarity secret rare, really great artwork. It kind of looks like a tripping on acid female version of Zorro or something, and it's got this crazy whiptail going on, but really good stuff. Next is going to be Crow. So I'm aware that there is the original ultimate rares out of, I think it was Striking Neos, I believe it was, that donned the ultimate rares. But anyway, would not disregard the Dual Tonal 5 commons. These are also very nice as well. And then there's actually 2 super rare prints that actually ran parallel. Legendary Collection 2 and Raw Yellow Mega Pack ran kind of parallel, just very similar to the way that the path form for Legendary Collections 3 and 4 printed a lot of the same cards and the same rarities, and kind of just doubled up players' chances to pull those cards and those really great rarities. So personally, these 2 versions are my favorite. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Legendary Collection 2 is a little bit older than it was the set before Raw Yellow Mega Pack. So if you guys, and then again, first editions exclusively, always go first edition. If you can, I would go for the Legendary Collection 2s first. If you can't, then go for the Raw Yellow. Also, again, you're going to pay a little bit more, but the DT version is pretty great as well. And then obviously you have the God card, which is the Ultimates. I would not recommend investing in the unlimited ultimates. If you're going to go big, you might as well go ultimate rare, and that is going to be a whole nother level investment. But people kind of forget about this card. This is still a very great card that rotates into the game. There's a lot of shenanigans that linger in the graveyard, and this is just a classic 1-for-1 solution. Next is going to be Effect Veiler. Now again, I know that it was a Duelist Revolution, I believe, Duelist Revolution has ultimate rares. Again, ultimate rare first editions if you're going to go big. Really great, solid, strong investment. It's going to be very pricey, but there's a lot of alternative versions that are still very nice. Personally, my personal favorite is going to be the Duelist Sagas. These are really great. And overall, the Order of Chaos Special Edition Super Rare promos. This is, again, I have an extremely hard addiction to hand traps and super rares, and this card, a lot of people think this looks really trashy, but I really love hand traps and super rares. And let's go ahead, and it's roughly around 2 bones. I'm going to switch over here to bulk prices so we can give you a little flash price of that. It goes to about 3 bones for lightly played for 3+, and it goes to about 4. So this is definitely going to, it has been, seen a little bit of price increase, because I think the last time I covered this card, it was about 2 bones. But definitely, for affordability purposes and just playability purposes and just aesthetics, this is really, really great. This definitely takes care of the job. And then, of course, there's the Duelist Saga. Again, Duelist Saga is an amazing collectability set. One of its kind. Konami has yet to push any kind of communication of reproducing a set like this, where it's this very unique kind of like laser beam looking hollow foils. Rarity, really great. And this is 5 bones. This is 5 bones all across the board. You can just see here, Near Mint Lily played first editions, goes to like 5 and then 6. And these are all one-ofs except for this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to stacks. For stacks, it goes to about 6-7 bone range. And so really, really good stuff on Valor. So yeah, Valor's pretty awesome. Next is, and I feel like people like forget that Valor is a tuner. I feel like a lot of people, yes, obviously like the natural purpose of this is to pitch it to the grave to negate an effect. But I still think it's really cool how, and again, it's a level 1 too. I'm like borderline obsessed. Was Crow a level 1 too? Oh, Crow is 2. Okay, sweet. So I have a really strange fascination with level 1s too. I really like level 1s as well. So anyway, all right. So the last card I'm going to be showcasing for you guys tonight is going to be Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherry. So I'm a huge fan of collecting original print, first edition hand trap Ghost Girls. They are amazing high rarities of secret rares, and they have amazing artwork, and they kind of rotate. This one obviously is probably one of the most least popular hand traps, because it doesn't have as much of a runtime in the game state. It doesn't really rotate in and out of the game as much as the other ones. Obviously, Ash Blossom and Ghost Ogre are the most infamous hand traps of all time for the Ghost Girls from the Ghost Girls Circle. If you go by trendings, which is really great, but they also hold really expensive price points. So it's important to take time and kind of take a step back and look at things that people aren't really paying attention to. And that's not always the easiest thing. It does take a lot of patience and practice, and you do have to spend a relatively good amount of time kind of skimming through the market. But that's why you guys have me. That's why you guys are here. That's why you guys are watching The White Mexican. And I'm happy to do it. I hope it does you guys a good service, and it allows you to get some cards for some pretty affordable prices. So this is the original print out of Shining Victories, and let's see. I do, like always, I recommend you guys invest in Unlimited. So these are kind of the price points for Unlimiteds. I think I said first edition, right? I recommend you guys invest in first edition. I apologize, I'm going a little crazy here. So no first editions on the first 2 pages. I am. By the way, I'm on 3 stacks. So personally, again, like I like to invest in bulk. So let me go back really quick, because it starting market price is pretty much 14 bones once you get to the stacks, like 3 or more. But just to show you guys, I think it's like around 7 for like the onesie twosie stacks for first edition lightly plates. So first edition lightly plate is about 10 bones here. And then Near Mint goes up to 13 for first edition Near Mint. So I mean, it's roughly around the same, because when you switch over to 3 stacks, you see there's just near 15 bones. So there's a 4 stack here, Near Mint first edition for 15 bones, and then there's a 4 stack here again for 15 bones. So definitely significantly more expensive than what it used to be. I mean, for the longest time, this card was like 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 bones, and obviously now it's like double that, which is rightfully so. Again, I mean, the further that we get away from these, like, I mean, if I'm so bold to say, I really do believe that the hand trap Ghost Girls are going to get to a point in the collectability market where they're going to be, maybe not quite on the same level, but like on like the shadow plane of like Dark Magician Girl, Injection Fairy Lily, like a lot of those really big waifu anime cutesy cards, and just some really great stuff. So there was a mirrored print secret out of the 2017 Megatins, and you can notice if you guys look at the photo here, the original prints from Shining Victories were a little bit of a lighter ink pattern as opposed to the 2017. Foiling's a little bit more predominant, a little bit more deeper secret rare foils, and the card just has the darker ink in general. So keep in mind there is that difference. Personally, I do think that the Megatin reprint looks better, a little bit more purpley and a little vivid here, a little bit faded for the original one, but obviously it goes without saying that the original print first editions are always going to hold more value. But because, again, this is still very much a secret rare, and you can still get first edition copies. This is also, I think, a solid investment for all those reasons I mentioned before. High rarity, amazing artwork. Not too old, about 4 years, about a 4-year-old card. But as time goes on, these cards are going to get harder to get. And this is kind of just, I don't really know what else to say. I just think these are really solid investments. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to 3 stacks. And, right off the bat, it's pretty much 2 bones before you factor in this 99 shipping. There's a 3 stack here. And then, TCG holding it up for 3 bones for near mint first editions with a fat stack of 29. So even though naturally people are going to kind of look down upon the Megaton as like, oh, it's just a Megaton, it's a reprint, it's newer and all that, you have to keep in mind that 2017 was, I believe Shining Victories came out in 2016, maybe it was 2017, I can't remember, but they're still very relatively old, 4-ish years old, and again, they're still very much secret rares, and they are also first edition prints, and significantly more affordable than the original prints. And as time goes on, as the originals increase, these will also trend as well and increase. So definitely a healthy alternative for the mirrored secret rares. That's all I have for you guys tonight. Link below is going to be to my Facebook. Anyone can message me, add me. I would love to talk to you guys about anything Yu-Gi-Oh related. Yu-Gi-Oh has been part of my life for almost 2 decades. I feel extremely compassionate about this game. I love the deck building, the creativity, the brotherhood, the friendship, the investing. There's so many amazing things that this card game and this hobby brings to the table for those that just choose to invest in it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys are making some fantastic Yu-Gi-Oh investments yourself. This has been a showcasing by The White Mexican, and I will see you in the next video.